Welcome back. Thank you for staying with Newsline. We continue with our flow of information as we bring you up to speed with the latest developments. Right now, we want to have a brief conversation centered on the state of the mountain. I'm sure you've heard this time and time again, Msiguze Mrima. And it's been comical, but definitely it hints to the political undertones that is going on within the Mount Kenya region. So much is happening, so little time to discuss it. I'm joined in studio by the Embakasi North Member of Parliament, James Gakuya, to give us his take on the latest developments in terms of politics that is bedeviling the Mount Kenya region. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you for making time.
Thank you, Rogers.
Karibu sana. I'd like us to start with something that was said by the Leader of Majority and the Kikuyu Member of Parliament, Kimani Ichung'wah, not today, but on Sunday, while he was referring to the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua. Listen in.
Don't be afraid. Shake off the snake. That viper on your hand, Your Excellency, the viper, the snake in your government, please shake it off. Shake it off, Your Excellency. Shake it off, not for your own sake so that it doesn't bite you. Shake off the snake on your hand so that your hand may do what the Lord purposed that hand to do, to deliver our country safely to the shore.
So, Gakuya, why would the Leader of Majority in the National Assembly refer to the Deputy President as a viper?
Thank you very much, Rogers. And coming to that concern, let me start by saying this is not the first time that Ichung'wah has been going log on matters to demean and insult, direct insult to the Deputy President. And he has shown no respect to that position. And the first time is when he said it was clamour that he cannot kneel to Deputy President, and he cannot leave William to glorify Gachagua. And at that point, he stated that Gachagua should go to die. So that's a nasty word. Mm-hmm. It's not coming from Ichung'wah's mouth for the first time. Mm-hmm. And the reference of those words that Mr. President shook the snake that is on your hand so that it can also set you free. This is referring Gachagua as an obstacle within the government of William Ruto. And therefore, that in Kikuyu or in English, this is to say, kick him out.
But what has the Deputy President done to get such comments from the Leader of Majority in the National Assembly? There must be something he's done to instigate such violence coming his way.
I can tell you, Rogers, that Gachagua has done nothing wrong politically, but the only mistake that Gachagua has done is to try to mobilize Mrima to unite together, not to walk out from government, but to have a unity of purpose. And Gachagua was very focal on last election. At least 15% of Mrima voted otherwise, other than the 85% who voted with William. And therefore, he said, before I move out of Jerusalem, let me unite the portion that actually voted for Laila together with the team that voted for Laz, so that at least 100% Mrima will be united. And that was the intention of Gachagua. But his idea was bought wrongly. And here, if you would like to assess the situation, is like, yes, the feeling is that Gachagua is bringing Mount Kenya to unite together, to walk them out of Ruto or Royals from UDA.
Yes.
And therefore, before this is done, finish him politically. And this is the same thing that, if you remember Kanyingi and Mwenje, during the Moyela, they brought the same narrative. And they fought Dr. Karanja vigorously until he was kicked out of the government.
So they're using the same tactics?
They're the same tactics.
But what is happening in the ruling party UDA, in which you're a member of? Because more specifically, Why are things falling apart, at least from the optic point, between the president and the deputy?
One thing I would like to say in a very suppressed way, it is important to understand that, in fact, as much as the head of state is the overall boss for the whole nation, we have regions, and regions have their leaders. And Murima having a leader who can spearhead their agenda is not a crime at all. We have Kaloso as a leader of the Kamba community. We have Mudavadi and Batangura leading Western. We have Laila Odinga leading Nyaza. And we have Kingi leading part of Kilivi. Okay. And we have Joho leading the Mombasa side. Therefore, these leaders are ever there. And this is the first time. And Murima is not exceptional. Today, it's like Murima was decided it does not need a person to inherit Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta as he exited from the political arena. But there is no way that you can leave Murima to be in anguish without having somebody who can be able to spearhead their agenda.
Okay.
And this is where the problem is lying.
So in your view, these leaders are trying to salivate on that particular position, the kingpin position. That's
Let
simple.
me also say that actually it is necessarily a kingpin, but as one a uniting factor.
Okay.
And that one uniting factor is what is not required. And the fear here is, if Gachagua has reason to have this popularity might ruin us numbers in 2027. And what do we do? Let us finish Gachagua before 2027 and throw him under the bus.
Okay, so you're talking about a unifying factor, but it seems the mountain is not as unified as the leaders from that particular region would like to think. Just recently, I think it was on Thursday, we had a section of Mount Kenya leaders backing Kindiki as their kingpin. Let's just listen in to what they had to say as they endorsed the Cabinet Secretary for Interior.
Be the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, Professor Kithure Kindiki. Our effort to consolidate the development needs of the people we represent and canvass for their realization has been frustrated by the lack of a focal point of reference around whom we can channel the interests and priorities of our people, the government, for actualization.
Okay, just a hint in terms of what the leaders had to say, but in retrospect, they endorsed CS Interior Professor Kithure Kindiki as their link to the executive, as their link to President William Ruto. So ordinarily, a second in command would be the point man of this region to the national government. Why is the deputy president losing members who would ordinarily stick with the deputy president because he holds such a position? Up to 40 members of parliament jumping camp. Does that worry you?
In fact, Rogers, I can tell you, for a long time, Gachagua has not been enjoying the support of these members. It is not yesterday or a week or a month. This group is a group which used to meet with the head of state, discuss and plan on their own.
Then how can he unify if he doesn't enjoy their support?
I can tell you for sure.
Yes.
Unification of Mount Kenya does not lie on the members of parliament.
Okay.
Yes. What you need to unify is the people, not the members. Because members have a duty to go to seek mandate from the people. So who matters here is not the membership of the House.
Okay.
Who matters is Wanjiku down there. And that is where only you can get support from. In this particular battle, Gachagua could have been swept if it is not the people of Mount Kenya.
So in your view, these MPs are going to Kindiki out of their own interest, not the interest of the...
They are compromised.
Okay.
And they are done.
And you're not compromised?
I cannot.
Interesting. Okay, we take a short break right here. That conversation will still be going on at 10 p.m. So make sure you stick around as we evaluate the state of the mountain and truly evaluate if there's a rumble in the mountain in terms of the political alignments that are ongoing. The Embakasi North Member of Parliament, James Gakuya, will stick around till 10 p.m. for that riveting conversation you can't afford to miss. Allow us to shift focus to other matters, even as we take a short break. A lot more coming up on the other side, including... business news tonight. Kenya Power Foundation